taxpayer cash have the Liberals wasted paying their carbon indulgences for their climate sins? Today I can tell you which ministries are writing the biggest penance checks to the international carbon traders. Do you know what carbon offsets are? Well, if you believe that you have committed a sin against the planet by using a car or a plane or whatever you feel climate guilt about, you can just give money to these things called carbon traders who will then pay someone to plant a tree to make you feel, I don't know, less like an earth-raping maniac. It's like paying indulgences to the Pope back in the Middle Ages to be forgiven of your sins. It's fools and their money being soon parted. More practically speaking, it's a cap and trade scheme. If you fall under your allotted carbon budget, you can just sell your remainder to a trader who will then sell it for a premium to a guilty idiot and make a little dough on the transaction for themselves. It's a completely made-up economy that our politicians waste tax money participating in. If Liberals want to waste money on this racket, fine, but waste their own. However, they are not. Conservative MP Jamie Schmale of Halliburton Kawartha Lakes asked an order paper question that compelled the government to break down by department, agency, and Crown Corporation just how much the Liberals have been purchasing in carbon offsets since January 1st, 2018. And the answer is here, so let's get right into this on page 14. Environment and Climate Change Canada, that's back under former Minister Catherine McKenna, spent $4,200 of our money on carbon offsets since 2018. $2,498 in 2018 and another $1,740 in 2019. But Climate Change Canada also admits they're just guessing about how much travel they are offsetting here. The dates of travel, titles of individual on the trip, origin and destination for the trip, amount of emissions the purchase was meant to offset are unknown since the purchase was made in bulk, and the amount of Environment and Climate Change Canada purchase was based on the number of miles. So even Climate Change Canada doesn't know which of those offsets belong to the climate warrior prior minister of the department, Catherine McKenna. They can't seem to keep a running tally of her flights, and as we found out yesterday, her new ministry at infrastructure isn't keeping records of her limo use either. Seems legit. On page 22, that's Global Affairs Canada, well, they spent $61,000 in carbon offsets for just the G7 summit. Or to put it into context with one of my other stories on the Foreign Affairs Ministry, about 6/100ths of their $1 million water bottle budget over 2 years. Now, based on these records, it appears Minister Chrystia Freeland did not buy carbon offsets for all those times she sent her limo ahead to Montreal from Ottawa to pick her up when her plane landed. I guess for that, we should be grateful. Page 23, Export Development Canada spent $394 for their climate crimes. On page 48, the Department of National Defence doesn't know if it spends money on carbon offsets at all. Look at this. National Defence is committing to making fundamental changes to the business of defense to improve management practices and is taking steps to reduce its carbon footprint. Blah, 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 blah. It goes on. National Defence does not centrally track expenditure specific to carbon offset credits. How do they spend money and not know where or how much they're spending? Apparently, our soldiers are asking for more than we can give, according to Justin Trudeau. However, the carbon credit traders are asking for just the right amount, whatever that amount may be, because we don't know, and neither does National Defence. Now, on page 52, this is Trudeau's office, the Privy Council. There are no carbon offsets for Trudeau's office. Look at this. Since January 1st, 2018, the Privy Council office has not purchased any carbon offsets. Trudeau switched to drink box water bottle sort of thing, so it's fine. It's even Steven. And look, I'm not complaining. I'm kind of glad. But this exposes Trudeau as a hypocrite on the climate file, while at the same time it sort of makes me happy that this is one of the very few SJW made-up pie-in-the-sky climate change grifts that Trudeau hasn't wasted our tax money on. Once again, it's Minister Chrystia Freeland's ministry wasting the most money on nonsense things, from her flight records that exposed how she sends her limo ahead of her plane to pick her up and drive her around, to the $1 million in bottled water at Global Affairs over 2 years, to her $61,000 spent on carbon offsets for just one meeting. Freeland is hailed as the next in line for the Liberal leadership when Trudeau comes out of whatever he's doing, semi-retirement, and actually formally retires. And some people think Freeland would be better. But based on what I'm learning about her treatment of tax dollars when she thinks no one is looking, I'm not so sure about that. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please ring the bell to get notified when we publish a video so you never miss a new one. And while you're at it, why not head over to rebelnews.com and sign up for Rebel News Plus, where you can get access to all of our full-length content, including my own weekly Wednesday night show, The Gunn Show. That website again is rebelnews.com.